Yeah, just up on top of Mount Glastonbury in a fire tower. There aren't any views, they're all obstructed from down at ground level, but from up here, it is just 360. You can see for miles and miles and miles, and I'm absolutely positive that this video doesn't capture that. Looks good through these eyes. Yeah, so I'm up here on top of Mount Bromley. I stayed down in Manchester City last night at this great hostel called Green Mountain House, I think it was. Great place. They even had pints of Ben & Jerry for $1 on every flavor you can think of. I don't know how the economics work out on that, but it's best to not ask questions when you can get $5 pints for $1. But yeah, up here on top of the mountain, and there's ski lifts and everything up here. It's a ski resort. Originally, my plan was to do a 20-mile day and camp next to this alpine lake, but I get up here and there's some folks that camped up here last night, and I found out they have an alpine sled on the other side here that you can take down and just fly down. It's basically like a wooden bobsled on a track, and it's supposed to be a blast, and I guess they let hikers do it for free. So I'm gonna hang out here. It doesn't open for a while, so I'm gonna hang out here for an hour or so till that opens up and check it out. So that'll change my plan. So I guess instead of camping at that lake tonight, I'll just hit it tomorrow midday and swim in it. And so these are the tough decisions that get made sometimes here on trail, but we make it by. Yeah, so I've been in New Hampshire for a few days now, which means, of course, I'm getting into the White Mountains, which is the most difficult and most gorgeous section of the trail for the next 80 miles or so-ish. I don't really know, I guess. But I'm most of the way up Mount Moosilauke, which I don't think is technically part of the White Mountain Range, but it's a 4,000 footer and it's in the White Mountain National Forest. So I'm kind of counting it, I guess. But yeah, I've been on a stair climber for the last 2.5 hours, but nearly to the top. So looking forward to the views up there and walking on some level-ish ground for a short period of time. So that's where we're at. Gonna be some cool stuff coming, so I'm pretty excited about it. So after a long unscheduled stay in a hostel in North Woodstock, I was there like 5 nights because it just kept thunderstorming and thunderstorming and thunderstorming every single day. And this section of trail is all above tree line, and just really didn't want to be up here during an electrical storm. So weather finally broke, made a run for it, and glad I did. It's beautiful up here. It's not perfectly clear with 100-mile views like some days, but after being stuck in that hostel for nearly a week, I'll take this. Super nice. Great place though. Had a great time at the hostel. Yeah, so shortly after getting into the Whites, got stuck at a hostel for 5 nights because of all the thunderstorms that just kept rolling through, and I needed to get up and over Franconia Ridge. Finally, after waiting it out 5 nights, the weather looked like we were good to go and got almost all the way to the tip top of Lafayette, which is the highest summit on the ridge, and a thunderstorm came in. So we're above tree line, real exposed, super vulnerable. Ended up basically laying down and kissing rocks for like half an hour until it got over. We were too far up to go back and didn't want to get up any higher. So that cell passed us, had a slight break before the next one came. Luckily had signal and could read radar. And then basically ran down the side of the mountain off the Atiana side trail to one of the AMC's huts and crashed there for the night after getting chased off the mountain. And then got back at it yesterday, had an awesome day, another awesome day today. About 2/3 of the way up Mount Webster and found some campsites that were too good to pass right on the edge of this massive cliff. So people tenting here, gonna enjoy a sunset in a little bit, and then tomorrow get up and over Washington. So that's something definitely looking forward to. Sit, Soze, sit. Good boy.